Hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening again. I want to welcome you guys uh, back to the Conversation 9-8 for another week, uh, another episode, and I'm glad to be on, man. I'm glad to be back and look forward to the conversation tonight. You guys mean a lot to me, and I just want to tell you that you appreciate it. But again, man, thank you guys. Welcome again. Uh, Appreciate the patience shifted around today. Was invited to an event. One of the uh, good friend of mine up here just redeployed from, came back from a deployment, and things was put together for him. And I just wanted to be there and support. But again, thank you guys. I'm sharing this with a few people. We're gonna get right on with it, man. We will get right on started. Uh, I'm getting excited, man. Summer's coming around. Things are happening real fast, so I hope um, I hope would you say everybody's getting ready because man, look, this year is going by very fast, and I've been enjoying it. Look, it's already April. The middle of April is here. Next thing you know, it's going to be fall again, even though we still experience some winter weather. So make sure you like and share this. Let me know where you're tuning in from. This is an interactive conversation. Um, and I just wanted to say, hey, just wanted to 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 thank everybody for your continued support because it means a lot to me. We won't be before you long, but just want to go ahead on and really get started, man. What's going on, Larry? How you doing, brother? Man, thanks for tuning in, boy. Hey, you hitting that slab? That boy been on the road. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, Miss Robson. Listen, she stole the show at the ball last night, man. I want to say, look, shout out to my mama. I'm gonna post some more pictures a little bit later, but y'all gonna see my mama killed it last night. Mama D was in the building representing, and even to the point where people was like, "Hey, man, how you look older than your mom?" And I just, hey, I'm glad my mom was able to experience that and enjoy that time. So it mean a lot to me to experience that with my mom. So we're gonna go ahead on and go ahead on and get started. And what we're talking about is, you know, never forget uh, to take care of the people that you benefited from what they did for you. Never forget to do that. I think a lot of people, what tends to happen in a lot of places is people tend to forget about looking out and taking care of the people that they benefited from, and that can come from a lot of different spaces. But I will tell you this, right? And I'm not in a way suggesting favoritism or that anything like that. But I'm saying take care of the people that take care of you. As simple as that. Never get to a space where you thinking that you done it all on your own and everything is about you. No, make sure that you take care of the people that you benefited from what they did for you. And that can be in many different ways. That can be in acknowledgement, that can be in recognition, that can be giving them credit where credit is due. But don't try to act like you did it all on your own. Take care of those people that did something for you. I mean, it's only fair. And I mean, and I think that that's a space or that's a conversation, and that's something that I feel like a lot of people deal with, and a lot of people have been frustrated with and hurt with because they've done things for people and people didn't look out for them. And the truth be told, there are many people, especially in the professional realm and even in the personal realm, that people have greatly benefited from them being connected to them or the things that they've done. And they may have offered them advice, or they may have done things behind the scene to take care of that person, to make sure that person look good, or make sure that person get recognized, or make sure that person is prepared to succeed. But then as that person get that success or get that promotion or get those things, then they turn around and don't want to take care of those people, the very people that they benefited from. And because the reality is, most people that are like that don't make sure they taking care of those people, most of those same people are people that are using people, and they don't mind using people to get what they want. And it comes from a selfish place. But those who are recognize who they are and are considerate of others always will make sure that they are taking care of the very people that they know that they benefiting from, especially the most. This can be this is not just, I said professional, but even in even in certain relationships. and we sit down and think about it, there are people in relationships that benefit from being in a relationship more than the other person. And they benefit from it because the other person always making sure that they're good, and they probably be the person. And you can look at it in a lot of ways where you have and say in the old traditional, you have the husband, and the husband is successful on the job, and the husband is getting these promotion, and the husband is doing all of these things in a traditional setting. And but the husband don't take care of the wife, and the wife is the one that is enabling him to go and do all of these things, enabling him to have the time and to be able to sacrifice. And the wife is the one that is taking on the burden of the sacrifice to enable that person. And then the person, that husband, may turn around and not even recognize or give credit to uh, the wife, who's the one who enabled him. And that is dead wrong. And that is what I'm talking about. That right there is dead wrong. And I just use that in that scenario. But I would tell you, and I would tell you this, man. Don't forget, never forget to take care of the people. Because and it's funny how this happened, but people forget to take care of people because they don't really think about what it cost those people to do what they did that they benefited from. Because it's easy for me not to consider what it cost somebody that I never had to pay myself. And that's why they act that way. That's why they may do the things that they do, because in their mind, what they think is, they just think, hey, look, that's what they was doing for me. But look, if I never had to give you $100, but I've always gotten $100 for you, I don't know what the sacrifice is, because I've always been the one receiving. And a lot of people, what they do is they forget to take care of the people because they don't have a point of reference of what it costs, or what it costs the people to give to them so that they can benefit from. And they look at it from a selfish place, but that selfish place will erode and destroy those relationships. And it causes a lot of heartache and pain for a lot of people, because people do it and don't even say thank you and don't even care. The thing that one of the thing is, and it's a sad truth, but I mean, it really is a sad truth, but it is what it is. But some people will just use you. That's why I said you got to never forget to take care of the people that you benefited from what they did for you. But some people will simply just use you in the aspect of it's working towards what they want to accomplish. It has nothing to do with considering you and what you help them with. Some people will have you do those things, or you the one that inspire, encourage, or be there. Those same people will act like you didn't do nothing for them, because they're the ones, you didn't help them do this, and they the ones that got that degree, or they the one that got that promotion, they the ones that got that rating, they the ones that they benefited from. But they don't want to go back and take care of the same people. They won't fight for you the same way they fight for themselves. And they do that because they are very selfish in nature, and what they want has become their priority, and they forget to take care of the people. But it comes back to hunt them in the end. It always do. I'm telling you, it always does. It always come back to hunt people. And there's nothing wrong with you being nice, and I ain't talking about just being nice, but just doing right by people. It pays to do right by people. Regardless, it pays to do right by people. And one of the best things you can do to not only maintain positive relationship with people, and especially I'm talking about people that you benefit from. I'm not talking about people that just regular Joe Smo. I'm talking about the people in your life, the people on your job, the people you're in relationship with that you benefit from. The things that they do to you, they are an asset to you. If they are an asset to you, you should appreciate them and show them the level of appreciation for the things that they do for you. Because you did not accomplish what you accomplished, you did not achieve what you achieved, or you did not get what you got if it wasn't for them. So it is just right for you to do right by them and never forget to take care of them. Period. I mean, that is something, period. And Miss Geraldine said, keep on using you until they use you up, and never think twice about it. That is 100% correct. And it's about getting to a space, um, and we talk about never forgetting, and I talk about this all the time, but um, one of the main reasons why I make sure that I take care of my mom is because it is my way of taking care of my mama, because I benefited from what she did for me, for what her and my dad did for me. They brought me up in a real good environment, a very loving environment. There's a lot of things that I don't have to deal with or never had to deal with in my life because of the things and the choices that they made and the environment that they allowed me to grow up in. So when the opportunity came for my mom to come and live with me, it was by me. It wasn't even a question to me about me making sure I take care of my mama, because I benefited from the sacrifices. I benefited from the things that they did. Now, some can argue, oh, that was their job. Yes, it was, but I know I wouldn't be where I am as a person or who I am today if it wasn't for them. So since my dad gone, it is doggone right that I'm going to take care of my mama. And that's what I do. Ms. Geraldine said, do right and right will follow. My mom taught me that, and I try to live that way. That is a true statement. That is a true statement. But sadly, that is not how a lot of people live by. Uh, Many people think that they're going to get away with it by using people. Some people are so focused on themselves. I don't think that they even recognize that they are using people. And the reason why they don't recognize that they're using people, because in their mind, they're working towards their goals. But when you get so laser focused like that, right, what ends up happening is you end up using the people to accomplish the thing that you want, just so it can benefit you. And just so it can benefit you, so that you can benefit from it. And as long as you benefit from it and you get what you want, you in turn won't advocate for those very same people that you benefited from. You won't highlight the things that they did. You won't fight for them for promotions, or you won't even lift them up or speak highly of them in those places where you could, all because, you know what, it's not benefiting you. And you don't see how much they help you get to where you at. And people live through that. I see that a lot in the professional space. I mean, me being in the professional organization that I am, which first of all I love. I love the organization and I love what it brings. But the reality is, where you got people, that's what you're gonna have to deal with. I mean, that right there is when you're gonna have to deal with those dynamics. But like I said, don't never forget to take care of the people that you benefited from what they did for you. Look, man, I would tell you, a lot of people like to sit down and want to talk about it, but they don't want to be real about it. But many people in relationship, you so selfish that you can't even recognize what you are actually benefiting from, but you getting it all the time. You don't even want to sit down and acknowledge that, dang, I benefited from the consistency of that person in the relationship. I benefited from the considerations of that person in relationship. I benefited from um I benefited from the person making sacrifices for me that enabled me to go and do the things that I do. Right? I benefited from that person cooking for me, doing these things, catering to me. I benefited from that. But now in turn, I don't even turn around to appreciate and take care of those people. Because now what I end up doing is I consider and do more and care for people outside of that relationship than I do that person, because I allowed myself to take those people for granted and think I was doing it all myself. Tyrone said, what's going on, Tyrone? Yeah, you're right, man. That's true. How you doing? Is it Kara? Kara, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in from Birmingham. Appreciate it. But yes, I mean, like I said, never forget. Never forget. And listen, it's easy to not forget to take care of people that you know you benefited from when you're not selfish, when you self-aware. It's easy to not forget, but it's very easy to forget when you are selfish and you're self-centered. And the problem that a lot of people who are self-centered and selfish and self-centered is They prioritize everything about them, that they have the blinders on, and they can't even see outside of their blinders of what they're saying, and they don't even recognize how much that they are using somebody else or benefiting somebody else, because to them they feel like they're justified or they deserve it or they're entitled to it. And the thing is, if you ask those very same people to itemize the list of things and compare the list of things that they benefit from the person or what they benefit to the other person, they will overvalue what they think that they bring to the other person to justify them benefiting from that person and not having to give back. They will do it. I'm telling you, they will do it. And you can talk about this in a relationship with somebody. You can talk about this on the job, on the intimate relationship, on a professional relationship, even on relationships and organizations like at church and fraternities, sororities, civil organizations, whatever it is. You will always have these dynamics. And it's not hard to take care of people. And the funny thing is, you know, it's easy to look out for and take care of people that you consider and hold in high regard. It's easier to look out for and take care of people that you don't take for granted. It's easier to look out for and take care of people that you don't take for granted. It's easier to look out for and take care of people that you want to. The problem come in is when we don't appreciate or we take these people for granted and we create this sense of entitlement as if we deserve it. Instead of saying, dang, these people didn't have to do what they did or what they did for us. They didn't have to do it. But the reality is we allow that to come into our head that we don't even sit down and take care. And we have the opportunity to take care. Many of us would get self-righteous and just simply think that, yeah, they supposed to do that. No, man, take care of those people. Because a lot of people do for you because they choose to, not because they have to. Don't let that go over your head. Please don't let that go over your head. I mean, people choose to do for you, excuse me, because they choose to, not because they have to. And a lot of people allow things to be destroyed simply because that. And the reason why people do that, one of the reasons why, my mom said narcissistic tendencies. Now, that is true. And I want to talk about this from this dynamic. You know, it's easy for me to, or anyone to say somebody is a narcissist, right? But I want people to really understand this too. When talking about people not taking care of people that they benefit from, it's not just that they exhibit narcissistic behaviors or tendencies, but it's really rooted in their being a selfish person, and everything derives of being around them. And it may be because they were spoiled. It may be because they have been conditioned in that situation that they never been required to give up. And guess what? Some people, and this is what we need to realize, some people cannot handle you being fully generous towards them. Most people, you got to give them boundaries. And we have to be knowledgeable that we have to set boundaries for certain people, because some people would take those the boundaries, the non-boundaries that we have, they would take it too far. They would take it entirely too far. and you know, and the reality is that's on us, and we have to make sure that we do that. We have to make sure that we set those boundaries. That's something that we have to make sure that we do, no matter how we feel about it and no matter how much we're frustrated with it. But for some people, you got to set those boundaries, because everybody cannot operate without boundaries. Some people, if you don't set those boundaries, and even though you can be in a relationship, even though you can be looking out for people and doing what you consider to be right, what people don't realize is some people, they will take that like, well, I don't have to reciprocate because they never required me to. But you never set that boundary to require them to reciprocate, because you made the assumption that they think or operate the same way that you do. And the reality is many people don't do that. So if you find yourself in that situation, you have to go and set those boundaries. Instead of being upset at the other person, you got to ask yourself, did I truly set those boundaries? or did I require them to reciprocate? And if I didn't, you need to go back and set it. And if they can't adjust to it, throw it up the deuces, throw it up. Yeah, Miss Geraldine, she said, why do I keep hearing that word boundaries? You have to set up boundaries. And I'm going to speak on that in a minute. My mom said, I didn't say that they are narcissists, but they have tendencies, but we must set boundaries and hold them accountable. I agree with you. You know, one thing that I've learned, and I'll say, I thank God for this. And, you know, setting up boundaries can be scary for a lot of people. And the reason why it can be scary, because setting up boundaries in a lot of ways can feel like self-isolation or self-imprisonment, because we want, or we may have the desire for the other person to think or operate the same way that we do. But many people, sadly, they won't. And that's not a bad thing. We're just all different. We all come from different experience. We all got different backgrounds. So the importance of us setting up boundaries is so key, especially if you have established a relationship, whatever type of relationship, and these people tend to not understand those boundaries. You don't have to be nasty about it, but set those boundaries. And if they can't adjust or refuse to adjust, right, the best thing for you can do is set your boundaries and move on. Because those that will want to continue to be connected with you will adjust accordingly. And those that don't, they'll stay as is. And, you know, if they choose to stay as is, you can love them from a distance, but don't sit around, because what's going to happen is you're going to stay frustrated and irritated in that situation because they are not respecting the boundaries or the boundaries that you have, you know. And, you know, I just wanted to sit up here and talk about this tonight. You know, never forget to take care of people you benefited from. Yep. And you have to set those boundaries on your job, in your home, in all walks of life. And now, what I don't want us to do is, you know, don't attempt to set boundaries as a means of quote unquote protecting yourself, but you using it as a means of self-isolation, or you don't want nobody to talk to you. You know, you not want somebody to deal with you. You know, dog. A lot of people, some people will use boundaries as in the wrong context. No, you still gonna have to deal with people. I'm talking about the boundaries as far as with in relationships, that you set certain boundaries to where, hey, you know, there's boundaries of how you gonna communicate with me, boundaries of how you going to, with your expectations of me, those type of boundaries. But don't set boundaries. Don't be a hypocrite and set boundaries that you yourself don't even hold yourself to that standard. So it's hypocritical for you to try to set a boundary for somebody else that you ain't even going to uphold or respect for other people. Don't do that. Whatever boundary you set, make sure that you can stand that same heat. Make sure that you can stand that. Make sure you can stand on it. It says stand on business on it. Make sure that's what you can do with it. I would just tell you, man, there's a lot of people that people have not benefited from. And my aunt said there's a book called The Set Boundaries by Nidra what's it, Tawwab, and she says it's an excellent book. But yeah, we just have to do that. But the biggest thing is, you know, simply, man, look, take care of the people that you benefited from. Make sure that is a priority in your life. Love on those people that love you. You know, celebrate the people that celebrate you. It's the same thing. But take care of the people that you benefited from what they did for you. Take care of them. Don't take them for granted. If you know, and this is the thing, the sad reality is many of the people that we benefit the most from, we don't take care of, we don't celebrate, we don't appreciate, we don't affirm, we don't do those things, because those same people that we benefited from the most of the time, we take them for granted. So we just be like, hey, that's just what it is. But that's not the case. I would tell you, many relationships will be healed if we just appreciate those people and take care of those people and reciprocate the same effort and energy that they give and we give to us and we benefit from. That's all we have to do. And it's not complicated, but it becomes complex when we don't want to do it. And I would tell you, it's funny how things become so complex when we don't want to do it. But it's simple when we generally in our hearts want to do it. So why is it so complex when we start talking about not forgetting to take care of people that you benefit from? It becomes complex because you don't really care as long as you get what you want. And many people will sit there and not even consider the other person because it's really all about them and what they can get. And sadly, those same people will use those people to get what they want and not in turn take care of those very same people that they benefited from, that even helped them or enable them to achieve or get whatever they wanted in the first place. And they will look those same people in the face and act as if they didn't do anything wrong. But that's sad, man. But again, man, I thank you guys so much for rocking with your boy. I appreciate you all. It means a lot to me. And I'm thankful and grateful for the things that God has coming. And not only coming, but just what he's doing and what he's been doing in my life. I thank God for his faithfulness. And speaking of that, I just wanted to just share real quick about, man, there's a lot of things that we take God for granted for. There's a lot of things that we take for granted because God always is there, even in our feelings, even in our highs and our lows, even in our lives experience. God always there for us, but we feel like we're justified in the way that we treat him. And I'm thankful for God for never giving up on me, even in my disobedience, even in my own personal rebellion, even in my own wrongdoing. I thank God for his faithfulness. And I thank God for what he's been showing me and what he's been teaching me in this time in my life. But it ain't been easy because the hard part has been my own stubbornness and me being hard-headed. And I'm honestly I can openly recognize that and not try to justify it by anything. So I just wanted to thank God for who he is and the things that he's done. Just want to do that. I mean, seriously, I just want to simply thank God for who he is and the things that he's done, because truly he has continued to do great things. And I know now there's so many things out there, and I watch stuff all the time. And, right now we're in a time everybody got an answer. But when I talk about God and my faith in Jesus Christ, and that's who I believe in, I thank God for the human experience. And what I'm more grateful for is I'm grateful for that I have a God, a Savior, who walked in the same humanity that we walked in and understand those things. And the reason why I say that is because if we really be honest with ourselves, we'll realize in our human form that we ain't no good. We could try to dress it up, but none of us are good. We all got our own ways. We all got things that we deal with. But I'm glad that I have a God I have a God that I can relate, that can relate to me and how I feel and be empathetic towards me, to give me grace but still hold me accountable. And I just wanted to just take this last few minutes to talk about that, because I don't know if somebody going through something, but we serve a God who never leaves us nor forsake us. And even in our wrongdoings, even in the things that we do, God will always be there by our side, even the times when we reject him and turn our backs on him. So I thank him for his grace, and I thank him for his mercy. And you're never too old, you're never too broken, you're never too down for God not to be there and extend his grace and give you a second, third, fourth, fifth, an infinite amount of chances. So I hope that's a blessing to somebody. Man, I really thank you guys for tuning in and rocking with your boy. We're at episode 177, been going strong, getting ready we're at 3.5 years right now. And I just look forward to God continue to do the things that He's been doing. Uh, hey, go check me out on my social media platforms. And like and share. And I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful day. God bless.